It is the Mike Show. It's the Monday edition. Wait a minute. Megan's here.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Where did you come from? Megan is joining us. We're gonna now. We've got today and tomorrow.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Alyssa's going to be here tomorrow with cats.
Okay. But today, you've brought us a guest for the Monday segment. Who'd you bring?
Yes, I'm delighted to have David Newmeyer with the Virginia Legal Aid Society here today. He's the executive director there and has been serving so well in such wonderful capacity for so many years. And let's hear more about what they're doing over there.
All right, David, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Mike. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, fun fact, Megan, if you call the Virginia Legal Aid Society, you may recognize the voice on the other end.
Oh.
Moi.
Did not know this.
You're still using my
Oh,
stuff,
absolutely.
right? Okay.
It's outstanding.
Trivia.
People hear this warm, welcoming voice when
Yeah.
they call into us.
Yeah, and occasionally some rasp. But yeah, so I actually had a sneak peek behind the scenes of Virginia Legal Aid Society and got to really learn in detail all the things that you do. But for the viewers and for the listeners, let's talk about that. What is Virginia Legal Aid Society and what do you do?
Thank you. We are a nonprofit that has been in existence since 1977. We provide legal assistance to low-income individuals and families in South, Central, Western Tidewater, Virginia. Our service area extends from Patrick County in the west to Suffolk in the east. We have 5 offices, staff about 50, and we help thousands of low-income people every year with legal problems.
Wow.
Problems they may not have identified as legal, but for which we know there are legal solutions. We have a intake line that is open 4 days a week from 9 to 3:30 every day. It's toll-free. It's staffed by 7 paralegals that are supervised by 2 lawyers, and they handle every problem under the sun. We get about 18,000 calls a year on that line.
Good Lord.
And yes, there are lots of problems that need to be solved.
There certainly are.
And for people who just want advice or advices are all we're going to be able to provide, they get that in their first phone call with us.
Okay.
And if they need more extensive help from a lawyer, then they're scheduled for a later interview.
Okay. And about now we know the call volume, but about how many folks actually have legal services where you would go into a courtroom?
That's right. Well, we end up with about 3,000 cases a year that are full-fledged, which may extend from complex advice to representation in a courtroom to a court appeal. And the kinds of problems we most often work on are housing, access to housing, and affordability and housing conditions. We do a lot of work around family relations and protecting victims from domestic violence and protective orders and all the services that victims need associated with that. Access to government benefits is very important for us, whether it's unemployment compensation, SSI, food stamps, all those sorts of things. And then we also do a lesser amount of education cases and consumer protection as well.
Okay. Financially, are there financial requirements or limits on someone's income to qualify for your services?
Good question. Yes. Our basic income ceiling is 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. And that's adjusted by household size. There are some forms of income we don't count depending on what the sources are. And then there's an asset limit as well, but that's so high that people are seldom affected by it. Okay. The purpose of those is to make sure we're not taking away business from private attorneys from people who could afford a lawyer. But those income limits also do not apply for our domestic violence cases and also for senior citizens. We get a number of grants to help senior citizens.
That is fantastic. So with the services that you all offer, and have you seen more of an increase in the need in certain areas over the past couple of years, and especially since COVID. How is that looking?
As you can guess, during the pandemic, we saw a lot of eviction problems. The courts were closed for a while, and then there were moratoriums on the federal and state levels preventing evictions for a while. But those have all gone away. There was federal rent relief money available that helped landlords and tenants get caught up on rent, but those have gone away. So we're doing a lot more eviction work again. And we're making extra efforts to help people to avoid evictions ahead of time.
Okay.
And a great thing about the rent relief work is we have great relations with a lot of landlords now that we didn't have before, so that helps a lot.
That is fantastic.
And the DV work has continued throughout.
We like to. I was just going to say we just did a lunch and learn at the YWCA and really heard how critical Virginia Legal Aid Society is in this work. So we always like to highlight where our nonprofit community is collaborating together, collaboration over competition, and it sounds like how you probably work with a lot of housing nonprofit organizations like Miriam's House.
Exactly. Yes.
That's wonderful, and it's great to when the community can work together to aid a client.
Absolutely. About how many professionals do you have working at your office?
Based in Lynchburg, we have 4 attorneys, we have several paralegals, and our intake system, which is program-wide, that's the 7 paralegals, as I mentioned earlier, and they assist people from throughout our service area. So what that means, even though that sounds like a lot of lawyers, that means that we can't take every case. Yeah. But if there is a reason we can't take something for full service, we will at least give as much advice and referral service as we can.
When did you get started at Virginia Legal Aid Society?
I started in 1990.
Wow.
And so I just passed my 33rd anniversary.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you. I feel privileged every day to be able to do this work, to have the impact that we do for our clients, and to work with some really dedicated, awesome people.
Well, if you would like to learn more about Virginia Legal Aid Society and other nonprofits in our area, you can go to sharegreaterlynchburg.org and just search Virginia Legal Aid Society. If you have a legal situation or a question or need some advice,
any problem,
David
may have a legal solution.
How can they get in touch with you directly?
Great. Our toll-free hotline, 866 5. I'm going to mangle the.
That's okay.
It's been so long ago. Help me, Cliff.
Mm-hmm. They can go to sharegreaterlynchburg.org.
This is embarrassing.
Yes. Legal aid is the.
866 Legal Aid. That's the best way to.
There we go.
LEGLAID. Thank you. It's been a long time.
Absolutely.
And then our website also, which has lots of information for the public, not just for low-income folks, is VLAS.org.
And you can go there, and if you call the toll-free number as well, and then you'll hear me. And I'll describe a number of possible solutions, although I'm not an attorney.
But you're a comforting.
You play one on the phone.
Yes, I will. I do my best. Each and every week, Megan brings us a guest, and we really look forward to that. Today or this week, we'll have 2 guests.
That's right.
So tell us what's going on at Share.
Well, we're wrapping up October, obviously, and we're stepping into November, which is our Give Good campaign. Mm-hmm. We're highlighting those who are giving good in our community. And so there's going to be 500 Give Good ambassadors walking around with these purple beanie caps on. We're going to be talking about that more. But right now, the action is to go to our website and nominate a Give Good ambassador, those in the community that are unsung heroes, that are doing great things. And then we're going to be telling their stories throughout the month of November and highlighting them through multiple mediums and platforms, television, radio, billboards, banners, you name it. and just trying to encourage others to give back, right? So there's so many
Absolutely.
needs, and there's so many wonderful citizens that are doing the good work. Additionally, the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation is in a grant cycle right now for the Youth Philanthropy Council. We have 27 local seniors, senior high school seniors, who are on a Youth Philanthropy Council, and they're meeting right now to accept applications for a $10,000 and a $5,000 grant. The $10,000 grant is provided by the Wells Fargo Wealth Management, and they're going to be evaluating these after November 15th, which is the deadline, and be deciding where these grants are going to go. So it's a really neat opportunity for youth in our community to get involved in philanthropy and learn about the functions of the Greater Lynchburg Community Foundation. So if you are interested in applying for that grant, you can go to lynchburgfoundation.org.
All right. Well, Megan, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again tomorrow. And I noticed on Share, you're up to 167.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
had a good run here lately. We added 4 in the last week. So 167 organizations you can find, and all their contact information, donation buttons, their websites, all the things that they do, ways to volunteer and give back.
Absolutely. Well, Megan, thank you so much for joining us. David, thank you for joining us as well. We really appreciate it. Coming up on the program a little bit later on, we've got your Audio Vault. Stay tuned.